You know, guys, I'm a patient man. I don't put a lot of stock in one game, but this game did piss me off because that ending reminded me of the last two playoff games versus the Niners. Stupid football, just weird. And don't get me wrong, both these teams played like the Keystone Cops out there. The Eagles just made less mistakes. They turned the ball over three times. They tried to anyway, but we didn't take advantage of it. Those fluky things out there, that strip sack, somehow Jalen Hurts turns around and the ball's right in his hands. Things like that happen. The fumble, the guy loses it and falls on it. And their coach at the end trying to give the game away with some stupid trick play instead of just running it up the middle. And they have their variation of the butt fumble. So this to me was not a classic NFC East game. These were two teams where the winner was going to make the least mistakes, and it was the Eagles, who are a better team. They have a great running game. I know that we kind of held them in check there, but that's because they chose not to run the ball. I think they could have anytime they wanted to. They could have run more. That was a winnable game. I didn't pick us to win. I had them winning. I believe 24-17 was my prediction. But we had a shot. We had a shot to win. But instead, we came off looking like Kellen Moore was still our coordinator. It was as dumb as Zeke Elliott lining up as center last season. Just dumb shit, and I'm sick of it. It's frustrating. You know, I'll take my hat off to the Eagles. They won. Congratulations. We'll see them in a couple of weeks. I think they're going to keep getting better, but I do think we will keep getting better. We got to find a running game. Dak played really good. Our defense played good. They allowed a lot of points, but they got the stops when they needed. They gave our offense a chance, and a lot of times we took advantage of it. The killer to me, more than anything, was that third quarter. They scored, what, 2 touchdowns? You know, if I'm remembering right, and we didn't score anything. That was the big difference there. Our special teams were good. We had that one kickoff out of bounds. That sucked. Turpin really coming together. He's really getting good. But we got to find a running game. We got to call effective running plays. We run just for the sake of running. It looks just like last season. This 3-and-out shit to start these games has got to stop. You know, you keep putting Dak in these positions where he's got to drop back nearly 50 times. That increases the chances of this type of shit happening. It's just got to be better. It's got to be more put together. We could have won this game. This was such a winnable game. But you got to give the Eagles credit because they found a way to win. Because about every game they've been in this season has been winnable for the other team. But they've taken advantage of mistakes. Jalen Hurts comes through when he needs to. But he wasn't great yesterday. You know, they were beatable. They were there for the taking. We didn't take advantage of it. We need to get our running game going. We'll see him in a few weeks, like I said. Let's face it, Dallas is not scared of Philadelphia or any NFC East team. These are rivals. That's why the Commanders have played them so tough. It's just the way it goes, you know. It's a good matchup for us. But they gotta tighten up. They gotta change. We should have got help at the trade deadline. Our offensive line is awful. You got to give them credit because they were back there. Dak was sacked, I think, 5 times. They were big time sacks too, but he could have been sacked another 5, maybe even 6, if he wasn't escaping, getting away, using his legs, you know, keeping plays alive. He looked smooth yesterday. He was passing the ball very well. A lot of guys stepped up, but Gallup dropped a pass, and I'm not surprised because even before he had that injury, how many times did we say as fans, how does Gallup catch these really hard passes at the sideline, these acrobat catches, but he drops the easy ones? Nothing's changed. He just makes less of those other kind of catches. That goes back to the Joneses not getting help. And I will, to the day I die, I'll say they should have kept Amari Cooper. He was my favorite player on the offense anyway. You know, yesterday I found myself saying I miss Zeke. Well, it's not, Zeke was done. But I mean that role. And that role could be filled right now with what we got. A bigger back. Let him play. Let Pollard come in as needed. He's got the franchise tag on him. We've already paid him. He's not going to be here next season. Let's use him to the best of his abilities. But that's always been a Jones thing. No matter what the coach is, they'll force the guy they paid. They'll make these coaches force him the ball. 2 runs up the middle to start the game with Pollard. That's just not going to cut it. That's just not going to work. They say that dog don't hunt. That dog don't hunt. We got the Giants coming up. That should be a win. Rival game, NFC East game. You never know. Don't get too cocky, because they're going to come to play. They'll quit if you make them quit, but if you let a team like that hang around, you never know what could happen in these type of rival games. I'm just tired of this shit. I'm tired of these types of losses. Dak, man, he went out of bounds on that 2-point conversion. It happens. I'm not going to crucify the guy. He's a good quarterback. He's a good man. We just got to make sure it doesn't happen again. We got to take care of business. TCB, baby, as the king would say. Guys, till next time, we'll talk when that Giants game comes around. Let's just put this out of our memory. Dallas can improve. I just hope they don't run out of season before they're able to reach their potential, because they're getting there. This offense is looking better. The defense could have had those turnovers yesterday. It just didn't quite work out. So they're doing their thing. I'm worried. I'm mad about the loss, the way they lost. I didn't expect them to win, but I didn't expect that damn Keystone Cop shit at the end either. That kind of crap I am tired of. It's got to stop. All right, let's move forward. Let's go to the Giants. I don't know who, what's her name? The Philly team, who they're playing. But, who cares? We'll see them in a few weeks. Nobody cares, really. All right, guys. We'll see you on down the line.
To the victor belongs the spoils.
Why don't you get the fuck out of here before I shove your quotations book up your fat fucking ass?